No, I can't add similar.
Okay, cool. That's it. Closing from outside, okay.
I got enough, but I had to take it down with this. Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
Because he's outside.
No,
Hey, I'm confused.
Hello? Do you want to go in? Are you going into this meeting?
Because this is supposed to be
He was actually on the phone talking to somebody and we don't want that.
You would have had your hands full. It's not even that, they're raising tax by like 15%. And it's going to be like 25% next year as well. Because they don't get a fair share from companies.
Right, so this microphone should be on, shouldn't it?
Like you said,
Yours is on.
serving a patient that's 400k people. Every city is run like a company. It's not even nice that the politicians don't even want to get involved, that's the thing. And there's no clear, well, actually that's not true, there is a political clear direction, but it's only minority administration. So there's no, despite only.
So how do you know it's recording? So I stop recording when the meeting finishes. Okay, right. So will I find a link afterwards?
It's not going to
Okay,
be
cool.
like.
All right, thanks,
The
Peter.
contract on the it's still going to happen, it's going to get worse.
Okay. Okay. Right. We can't. They can't see that. We can't see ourselves. Right. Okay, so thank you all for coming. My name is Sherwin. I'm part of the careers team at Holloway campus. So welcome first to our students from Holloway, from the business department, and also welcome to any students attending this talk from the Sixth Form Centre in Angel or from the Centre for Lifelong Learning at Finsbury Park. We're all here today because it's Apprenticeship Week, and as part of Apprenticeship Week, we've invited Darren Chitana from LDN Apprenticeships to talk to all students at all the campuses at St. Elizabeth College about apprenticeship opportunities. So I'm going to hand over to Darren now.
Absolutely. And yeah, I'll be talking to our group here, live and in color in person, and as well as anyone joining us virtually. So yeah, Darren, I'm here, and you're probably wondering, like, who's this guy going to tell us about apprenticeships? Who's this random guy telling us what to do with our careers? Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your career. Everything here that's shared, all the information that we talk about is of a subjective nature, right? So everything here is up for your interpretation to use. If you don't want to use it, if you hear something and you're like, this guy's kind of crazy, I don't agree with that, cool, leave it, right? But if you hear something that resonates with you, that makes a bit of sense, you can absolutely take that and use it going forward in your career and considering your options. Yes, so my name is Darren, I work with LDN Apprenticeships, I do community outreach. I am from Toronto, Canada, and I get that question all the time, so I'm just sharing it with you. I'll be halfway through the presentation, somebody will put their hand on that, where are you from? Like, from Toronto, Canada. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about careers. And probably at this point in your career, in your life, people are asking you this question, what are you gonna do? Right, do we get that question? How many of us get that question way too much these days? Right? We get that question, right? What are you going to do with your life? What's your plan? What's your next step? And when they ask you this, they expect you to give them some sort of answer that will suffice for the next 40 years of your life. Yeah, I'm going to do this for the next 40 years. You don't know. And you cannot possibly know for the next 40 years of your life. But it's a bit demanding when people ask you this question. They're like, tell me what you're going to do. I need an answer. Kind of puts you on the spot. And I find a lot of us get a bit nervous, get a bit anxious when we start to try to predict the future. There's no way possible. But when we think about our careers and if we get nervous about it and we get a bit anxious, that feeling constricts our thinking. And we begin to think small. We can't expand. So if we relax and take it easy and think about this as an opportunity, something enjoyable, something that we can't really do wrong, but it's always a work in progress. We can relax a bit, take it a little bit easy, take a deep breath, and then our mind can expand. Then we can start really imagining things that are enjoyable to us, that we would actually think of doing, that aren't just doctor, engineer, nurse, construction, right? We can really open up our minds to some of these careers. And I keep this super casual. You'll see the whole presentation. This is not formal. You can ask questions. You're going to be thinking about stuff. So you can always ask questions or anything like that. So cool. We're going to get right into it. And there's going to be recurring themes. There's going to be recurring themes that we talk about in our careers. And question, before you even get started, who here in this room works at all? Part-time jobs, contract work, piecework, agency. Who here has a job? What do you do?
Me,
Yeah.
I work at Bill's bakery.
Hey, free food. What do you do?
Installations, agency.
Nice. Who else here works? Somebody else here have a job? You have a job, right? Yeah. What do you do? Don't be embarrassed.
I'm a coach
For what?
for not tutor.
Oh, you're a tutor. What do you tutor at? What's up, Dad? Very nice. We got a mathematician over here. Anybody else here work? That was 3. You work too, right? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 3 people in this room work. Second question, you can still redeem yourself. Who here is involved in an extracurricular activity? Sport, club, anything outside of school? What do you do? Boxing. Oh, we got who's the English boxer? Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury out here. Bodybuilding. Look at that. Okay, so 2 more people. And why is that so important? This adds into this keyword here, experience. Everybody here has to be in school, but those extracurricular things, you don't have to do that. But that exposes you to different groups of people. You have different friend circles in that gym when you go there. There's different people. You interact with a bunch of different people. When you're at Gales, you see different kinds of people. You work with customers. That is professional work experience. Anybody, if we're all applying, those people who put their hand up for work experience and extracurricular activities, you automatically move on to second interviews. That's it. Right? When we have hundreds and hundreds of applications coming in, we need something to separate people, and that's one of the ways. Professional work experience and getting yourself out there into, even if you play football, you're in a league, you do some coaching, tutoring, things like that, that is professional work experience. Right? I saw some people laugh at it, right? Well, what that shows you work, you have to show up somewhere on time. Do you actually do that? Or, okay. All right. So he has to show up somewhere on time. He has to treat customers as people with respect. You can't just tell people off, right? And you have to take orders from a line manager. And he didn't even tell me that. I can assume that. That's why those people move on, right? And you have to hold down a job for 3 months at least. I'll take that, right? I'm not gonna call up your teachers and ask them, but professionally, that's one of the ways. And that's the key word. You're gonna see this throughout your whole career. It's that work experience, however you can get it. I know people laugh at those jobs at Pret. I don't want to work at Tesco, all these lame jobs. Trust me, it helps to just put yourself out there. Job applications, right? Sometimes you have to apply. It's exciting at the beginning. It's exciting at the beginning, and then what happens? You get rejected. Nobody answers our application. We don't get the calls back. Then it gets tiring, and we do it again and again. And then 5 applications in, why am I doing this? What's the point of this? No one's going to reply to me. That's normal. That is normal. You can expect to put in 100. You can expect to put in 100 applications. Trust me, the same thing will happen again. This is our company. We provide you guys with talent opportunities. This is corporate language. It's that corporate language that you see on a company's about page. When they want to sound, they want to share their mission, this is just corporate language. And I say that because this doesn't mean anything until you meet the company, until you go into an environment and feel that company culture. All these are just nice words. Put in a nice order. But meeting me is one aspect of the company. So you can get a feel for the company through me. And this, if we share anything here today, anything, if there's any message, this is probably the most important slide that we share here today. And in this top left corner, this point right here cannot be understated. Depending on how you see things in your life right now, somebody right now tells you where to be at 9 a.m., tells you where to be at 10, tells you when you can eat, tells you when to leave at the end of the day. You're always told what to do, right? You don't make that many decisions. When you turn 18 and you leave here, all of a sudden, you have a ton of responsibility to make decisions. And some people in this room right now are super self-motivated. Some of you guys right here, people are used to being self-motivated. You will go out and get it. You'll be fine once you leave here. Those people who are self-motivated, you'll not worry about you guys. You're going to be okay. You're going to take those opportunities. But some of us have to get used to taking responsibility for these decisions, right? Because nobody's going to tell us that we should go into this course. Nobody's going to tell us this is your career option. And that's why this slide right here, it becomes the biggest activity in our life. School is your biggest activity. You hear hours in the day. That gets replaced with nothing based on what you decide. It could be nothing. It could be work. It could be anything else. And I have a few words here. Who wants to work, right? Who wants to work? People like work? What's so good about work? Get some money. People call, if you ever ask some people, you might see this in your life, sometimes you ask people like, how's work? You ask people, how's work, right? And what do they say? Yeah, yeah. Do you hear things like, work is work, right? Work's work. I don't even know what they do. They just keep saying work is work. Oh, it's just another day. And it's someone like that, living their best life, enjoying what they do 5 days a week for the whole day, 4 weeks in a month, year after year of their life. Are they really making the most out of themselves? Are they really happy with what they're doing? Right? But guess what? That's like 90% of people in the world. 90% of people are just going through the motions. 8 a.m. comes in. All right, I'm here. 5 p.m. Don't even talk to me. I'm done. I'm out. Don't care. I came to get my money. Punch in, punch out. That's it. I'm good. But that's for the biggest part of their day, every single day. And that's why I shared that with you, because most of us, what are the chances that 90% of people in the world have that type of a situation? And in this room, what is that going to be like? What are the odds? Are the odds in your favor that you're just going to randomly get into the most exciting career of your life and enjoy it?
Good.
Yeah, randomly. You could have a good attitude about the things that you do, which will gravitate you towards your career, right? Very rarely will your ideal career fall in your lap. And the word career versus work. Is there a difference between someone who has a career or someone who just goes to work? Is there a difference?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. It sounds a bit different. Someone who has a career, do they take it a bit more seriously? Right? Do they put in those extra hours? Do they put in that extra effort?
Yeah.
Do they make the most out of themselves? Do they actually care about what they do?
Yeah.
In the long term, right? So these words are just for you to interpret. You want to have a career or you just want to work? And if you're lucky enough, if you're one of those few people who are lucky enough, you make it to the highest levels. If you have a passion or a mission in life, you've got it good. You've got it made. If you ever get to that level, all of these things that happen in the world, you know, there's news stories every week. The government, this cost of living, hurricane season, strikes, all that stuff. People at the top of their game who are on a mission to do stuff, do these things affect them? Or are they focused? And we can think of these people like top-level athletes, people at the top of their industry, right? If you're a top-level athlete, do you really care about anything else, or are you focused on your craft and what you do? And that shows when you hit the pitch. That shows when you're in the zone and you do what you have to do. That shows by results. If you're building a company, if you're getting into business, if you're into whatever industry it is. And these two levels, you can work yourself up. You can build passionately. You can build these things. If you think that you're not passionate, and this is where if you get to these levels, you make money. You don't have to choose the careers that make the most money. You don't have to apply for the jobs with the highest salaries. You naturally do your best, and companies may even recruit you because you're so good at what you do, they already know about you. You're at the top, and you can call yourself a professional. or an expert in a certain kind of an industry. And I like the athletes. I used to play so many sports, right? Top athletes, do they have to go send in their CV to apply for a team? Or do they have people asking them because they're so good at what they do, right? And we naturally want to make the most of ourselves. Naturally want to make the most of ourselves. That's why we always grow personally and professionally. This is how somebody can work a 10, 12-hour day and still have energy. And still have energy to go home, to enjoy their family life, to enjoy their relationships, to have hobbies, and still do everything else after they put in all that work. And that's just because they're so lit up by what they do. And sometimes that work, sometimes some people call it a dead-end job. Just a dead-end job. And I know we don't have much work experience, but I do this with different audiences, some older people, and they definitely have worked some dead-end jobs, so they know what that's like. And why do we call it a dead-end job? Because you're putting in your time and your effort and your energy, and where's it going? Absolutely nowhere. It's not worth it. You don't see a future there. You're just doing the same thing over and over again. That's what we call it a dead-end job. And what's the difference? Is that when you have a career and something that you enjoy that makes you happy, you put your effort and energy into something, and what happens? It returns the favor. It returns the favor in the form of satisfaction, in the form of fulfillment, and this is how you can work those long hours and do incredible things and still have energy. And in the next 10 years, if you find those things, people will ask you, how did you do that? How do you do these things? Right? This is not normal, but you might just be so passionate, so fulfilled by these things, that you become superhuman, right? Entrepreneurs, people who are the best at their industry, that's what they do. Ideal company or industry, that's when you find out where you belong, what kind of industry you belong in, right? Are people in construction different from the people who work in healthcare? Those are different kinds of people in those industries. Compared to the people who work at a school like this in education, right? Teachers have different personalities and characteristics. And the place that you're going to work at, you could find a place where you really belong, where you feel at home. And your coworkers aren't just coworkers. They're not just people that you have to be with, but instead, they're people that you actually enjoy their company, that you actually make close friends with these kinds of people because of the same things that you have in common, the things you care about. So yes, that's the difference. That's probably the most important slide. Any questions on that? Any thoughts on a career or a dead-end job? I've worked my fair share of dead-end jobs, and it hurts. Trust me, but sometimes you might have to go through stuff like that to understand, like, oh man, this is what that guy was talking about. This is a dead-end job. So, you know, doing things on a daily basis, you don't want to do things that you don't do. Right now, you have to study subjects that you might not even care about. So when you leave here, you can actually get yourself and apply yourself 100% in the things that you actually care about. You can leave all that stuff behind. Yeah, you're sure you got to get your GCSEs. You got to do the best you can right now. But after that, it is an open world for you to get into anything that you have an interest in and pursue that 100%. So you have that freedom, but you have to take the initiative for that. The opportunities are out there. And Sherwin is so, he got me to come in here and speak like this and share some information with you. When you leave here, these things won't be around. You'll have to seek these things out. You'll have to go and find groups and peer groups to get to the places where you want to go on your own. And that's a little bit about the initiative that it takes to progress. Because this is good, to be in this environment, an educational facility where we can have this and stream it across the 2 other campuses. You might be saying, Darren, well, what am I supposed to do in my life? There's so many things, right? Am I supposed to find the right thing to do? Well, you probably have interests already that you are compelled by. You like certain things in the world already. You're already a person who's lived like, what, 17? Because of 17, 18 years? So you have enough in your database that, yes, I know I like certain things. I know if I'm going to go into construction or not. I know if I like the corporate world or not already. But you just might not know it on a deep level. So what are some ways that we can do this and find this information out? What we can do, who here has used this app? This app's an awesome app. I don't know if you guys know it, but who here has used the app? YouTube. Who here has used YouTube? Thousands and thousands of hours on YouTube, right? So what happens? What are we doing on YouTube? We're consuming information. And who's telling us to do that? Are we getting paid for that? Absolutely not. So you're doing something on your own time that can give you an insight to what your interests are. Check out your search history. See what you like to do. See what those related videos are on. Right? Because that's something that you just engage with over and over again. No one's telling you to go on YouTube. No one's paying you for this. This is your natural interest that you have. So that's one thing that you can look at to determine what am I interested in. What kind of things do I like to consume? Some people have hobbies. The last week I had some footballers. We've got a boxer here. Right? Some people are into athletics, health, things like that. How do you spend your weekend? Say it's a weekend. You don't have to get dressed. You don't have to be anywhere at 9 a.m. What are you going to do with your free time? It's your day. What are you going to do with it? And that feeling that you get of that freedom or that joy that you look forward to, how you're going to spend that day, that could be every day of your career. It doesn't have to be a drag. It can actually be that enjoyable if you get it right and you put the work in. And what are you passionate about? Some of us have been through certain situations. Some of us are affected deeply by social issues. There are 1,000,001 social issues in the world today. One of them might apply to you. One of them might touch you on a deeper level that you have to say something and get that information out there. There might be some sort of people that you want to help to get out of the situation because you're deeply impacted by certain things. Is that enough motivation to make you do great things in your career? Absolutely. You live in a pretty awesome city here. I know you guys think of it as a normal city. This is a pretty epic city, one of the biggest in the world. And what's our air quality like? Right? So there are things that we do need to improve. And we kind of need that thing. We kind of need air, right? We kind of need these things. But for some people, you don't care about it, that's cool. But if you do, this is something that you can pursue. You can find out what you're passionate about. Does that make sense? Yeah? Any questions on that? All right. So we're going to do have some fun here. We're going to take a look at this picture. And what are we going to do? Tell me what you see. There's going to be two animals here. Tell me if you see it. Oh, wow.
The monkey and the tiger.
How'd you get what?
The silhouette.
Yeah. Did you see that like immediately?
I see the monkey.
Okay, well, what animal?
See the monkey's head, that's the tiger.
Where? Oh yeah.
So who sees the
The
monkey?
white is the tiger.
Yeah, and then you saw the tiger. Well, who else saw the tiger? Anyone else see the tiger?
Oh yeah, I see it.
A little bit.
Still I see it. I just see a white on the tree and the white on the left.
And the tail.
On the top half. Oh, I see. It's a tiger. It's a bird like that and the mouth.
No, I love that. You're seeing extra. Is it
The eyes and the eye. You see the monkey's head? It's a top on the head.
Oh, I think so that's the monkey's foot, isn't it?
You see where the leg, the monkey's neck like that?
Do you see the monkey? Do you see the monkey? You see the monkey? Do you see the lion?
Bro, you see that lion? Bro, I'm looking right at it. Oh, bro, she don't look.
All right, don't worry, don't worry.
Everyone's smoking on.
Don't worry.
Why is she no lion?
All right, so we're gonna show. So are lion people? Is this what you saw?
Yes.
Is that what you saw, lion people?
Oh, I can see it now.
Yeah. Was that there the whole time? Was that there the whole time?
Yes.
And are monkey people? Is this what you saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you saw, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do a couple more, but just like that one, there's no right or wrong answer. And if you saw or didn't, unless you said that, you did. You said other stuff. No, but still, there is no right or wrong answer. No, no right or wrong answer. So I like to gamble. So if you're gonna put your money on 10 pounds, which one is the longer line? Tell me which one you're gonna put your money on.
The longest straight line.
They're both horizontal, horizontal. Which one's the longest one? Which horizontal, top or bottom?
They're both the same.
You gonna put your money on that? You know that? 10 pounds. You gonna put your money on it?
They are the same.
You gonna put money on it? If you have that, you got some money on it. If you really believe that.
It's the same.
It's the same.
They say it's the same. What do you see? What?
Face and a guy blowing a trumpet.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
Where did you see that?
I see that.
He's your boss here, he has a space.
What do you see? A trumpet. Who sees a trumpet?
I say girl's face. I say trumpet and that guy. There's a girl's face.
A trumpet.
Yeah.
A trumpet?
No,
Saxophone.
saxophone or clarinet or whatever.
That's used to trumpet.
That's called a trombone.
Yeah, so you see the face, some people see the face, some people see not the trumpet.
Trombone.
What? What? All right, who looks at this picture and can't look at it for too long because you might get nauseous?
It's me.
Who's one of those people? You can't look at this for too long. If you look into the center and you go end up in another dimension.
There's another dimension.
And this is how you get there.
You have to go for a black hole.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah. Into the void. So who looks at this picture and sees nothing spinning at all, even if you try? Even if you try, you can't see anything spinning.
I can see spinning.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. I can't look at this for too long. Rotating.
That's a slow There's a lady. That's what he is. In the classroom in the dome.
Oh, what? What do you see? What do you see?
A lady at the school.
This is Diana. What else do we see? Oh, a princess in a what?
Inside the skull.
She's in the
Inside the
dome.
skull.
She's in the dome.
Who here sees the lady looking in the mirror?
Yeah, she's looking
See the mirror? Yeah? Then who here sees a skull? Some people actually see a skull here.
Where does he move?
We got some dark people in this room.
Where does he go?
Yeah, you can see both?
Why are we trying to? Yeah, there is no.
Find the gray dot. Pinpoint the gray dot for me. And you're in.
I found it. They're all great.
Pinpoint it.
They're all great.
Oh, my eyes are bugging.
Pinpoint.
I can't. I just squinted.
I have my eyes to wash my eyes.
So wash your eyes.
They're all great.
They're all gray. Are they all gray?
If I squint my eyes under the thing, if I squint my eyes, they're all great.
Find the gray dot.
Under the business.
Yeah, they're not white. They're all great.
They're all gray. He says they're all gray. Are they all gray?
Yeah, squint your eyes. They're all great.
It's the one in the top.
So if I put my finger here, you're saying this is a gray dot.
Yeah. I mean, white. Yeah.
Actually, it's a great color.
And this was my favorite. Is this an old lady or Is it a young lady?
I see a young lady. I was gonna say young lady. I see a young lady. I feel like I think she had a cat on her head. Is there a cat on her head? There's a cat on her head.
There's a hat, but is it an old lady or is it a really young lady?
She's young.
She's young. Who sees the young lady? Young lady? Who sees the young lady?
Where is she now? Lady.
I'm just seeing.
Who sees an old, kind of scary looking lady?
Huh?
Who sees the old lady?
I see a young one school.
He sees the young one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hold on. So if you see the young lady, she's looking that way, and you see the side of her face over here. This is her jawline, this is her ear, and she's looking that way. That's what you see when you see the young lady, right?
Yeah.
And then if you want to see the old lady, this is her eyeball, and her nose is this big thing right here, and then this is her smile.
I still can't see that. That's some weird.
And then this is her mouth, and her chin is down here.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, I see it now. I can't see the young lady. I can't see the young lady.
That's what you see. And now you can see the old lady. You can't see the young lady anymore. Where'd she go?
Yeah, I can see both now.
Yeah, now you can see them both.
I can see like the neck. No, I can't see them.
All right, so why are you looking at a bunch of pictures? Why do we do that? So
You can tell what's happening.
a little bit. But look at what just happened. So we showed a couple pictures on the board, right? We're all in the same room, and we're all looking at the same thing, but we all saw different things. You really saw different things. You really saw different, but we all saw different things, right? And this is just this is not even a big class of people, right? Imagine all of the people in the school, all of the opinions, all the ideas, all the perceptions that we all see. And what happens when we see different things? What do? We try to tell our friend, we're like, hey, look at it, it's right there. It's right there, how do you not see that? We want to take their head and show them exactly how it is, right? And we have people doing that to us too, trying to show us the way that they see it, how we should try to see it, let us down. So why do we do that? To just show us that we're all different. Not even the class. Imagine all the people in the city. We're all going to see things just a little bit differently. And one of the ways that this difference is, who's heard of this left brain, right brain thing? Has anyone been exposed to this before? No? So this left brain, right brain thing, you know who you are, you left brain people here. You are analytical people. When you pack things away, they are nice and orderly and even and tidy. Everything's got a label. Maybe if you look at your wardrobe, everything is neat and folded. Maybe even color coordinated, right? You take care of your stuff like that. And how are you guys with money? Huh? No, our upper people are a bit different. What was that? Save.
Reinvest.
Yeah, you guys are pretty good with your money, aren't you? Yeah, they wouldn't buy something unless they have the money for it. And then our right brain people, how are you guys with money? The money's gone before it even hits the account. That money's gone. You walk into the shop, you walk into the JV Sports, you like that, you're buying it. Buy those trainers. They go based off of impulse and how they feel. If they're feeling good that day, that money's gonna be gone quick. They're feeling good. They go based off of feeling, their intuition, and when you talk to them, they say things like, I think and I feel, right? They're subjective, and if you look at their room, it's gonna look like a mess. But if you ask them, you say, no, I got everything organized, everything's good. I'm good, I like it like this. Don't touch anything, right? And some of those pictures that were up there, the bigger picture, our creative people can see that very easily. They can see that big picture. They can make something out of something that really isn't there. But our analytical people, you guys like to get to the bottom of things. You need answers, and when you talk, you're talking facts and rationale. When you're not quick to make a decision, you like to overlook these decisions and think it through. On Amazon, what do you guys do? You read all the reviews. Read all the reviews to make sure you got the answer right, and you do it right. So that's one of the differences. Any questions on this? This is one of the ways that we're different, and this is another way that we dive into that we're just a little bit different. So even if you just look at some of these categories and you start to read the ways that each personality is like, you can already see yourself fitting into one of these. You can already see that you gravitate towards a certain area, right? So for example, we have our dominant people. What are these people like? They're very direct when they speak to you. They ask you if you got the result done. Did you do it, yes or no? No? Let's do it now. Do you think they really get into it when they talk about your feelings? They do that small talk stuff? Not really. Right? This is their personality. And we judge them and we call them, these are the people who are cold. They don't really care. Right? Someone down here, this person might say, oh, you're a cold person. This person likes to bond and talk about feelings. So when this person comes around, it's a bit different, right? We have our influential people, our high energy people who like social situations, right? You guys like to engage, have conversations, make sure that everybody's on good terms. We have our conscientious people who are analytical. Give them a computer, some internet connection, they're good. They don't need to talk to anybody else. They're on their own. They can do all their work. Give them a laptop, they can study on their own. They don't need much help. And some other people are very, people who like to get everyone together. Make sure everyone's having a nice time. So if you do a survey like this is a DISC survey, D-I-S-C. DISC survey, this thing takes no longer than 10 minutes to do. You can find out more about yourself in that little 10 minutes than our whole life. And it's not that it's not there, it's that you can do something like this to intentionally find out more about ourselves. And you think if we know a little bit about ourselves, we can frame ourselves into a career that's suited to us. So instead of 100,000 different careers and opportunities that are out there, when you do something like this, you find out more about yourself, and then it becomes a small few careers that really, really light you up. And you're not trying to fit yourself into places where it's hard to go into. So for example, if you want to see a real life example of this, you can probably tell where I fit in. You can probably tell where I fit in if I'm at the front of a classroom speaking to a bunch of people, and I work with young people all the time, all this stuff, you can tell where I fit into this. And when I started doing this stuff, I did one of those career surveys too. I did one of those career surveys, you know, you just click, would you rather go out on a Friday night or spend it in? They ask you little questions like that. I did that, and I picked the top career on that survey, and I did it. And that absolutely changed my life. I started going in the direction that best suited me. And I never worked a shitty job ever again once I did that. So you can find out more about yourself and what's suited to you. We're gonna have a strong one here. You're gonna have one that's the main one, and then you're gonna have a secondary one. And this is you. This is you. You study subjects all day long. You study subjects, you study all these things. Take 5-10 minutes and study yourself a little bit, and you'll have a better reference point for the direction that you want to go into. And there's the Myers-Briggs, that ENFP kind of stuff. That one's another good one that's popular. This one's good. And those general career surveys. Those things, they seem almost too simple to just do and do that and get answers from it, but it works. Any questions on that? Anything that you're thinking about? Okay, sweet. So I talked to a couple people before we started here today. Who here has heard of the apprenticeship programs and the opportunities that are out there? Who's ever even heard of an apprenticeship? What do you know about apprenticeships? Yeah, you can have a degree one. What else? Hey, you get money and learn at the same time. I like that. So you get to work full time. You study a qualification, and you get a full paycheck. You earn some money. That's the easiest summary that I can say about apprenticeship. You get full-time work, and this company is going to invest in you and give you a free education. Can you imagine that? A free education. Look at the tuition fees that they have here for people who have to register and have to pay, right? Look at those fees. A company is willing to give you that for free. So this opportunity here, it's for some people, it's not for everybody. some people like to actually do things, right? If I sit in a classroom and I start thinking about engineering, all I have are ideas about engineering. I really don't know what it's like to be an engineer. But if I'm in a program that gets me to do the work, then I have a much better idea of what it's like to be an engineer. First-hand experience, not just hearsay, not just what I think, I'll actually know what it's like. And for that, that's how some people need to learn. That's the only way that it will click for people and have them understand. I can only stand here and think of what it's like to be a GP. I can say that I think it's like this, it's not this and that. It's all ideas. I've never had work experience. I don't even know somebody who's a GP. So all of this is just an idea. And the same for you in your work experience. That's why I told you at the beginning, who here works, right? You have some more experiences to base your decisions off. On the job learning, 4 days a week, whatever that is, in the office, hybrid or remote, you work for 4 days. Work for 4 days. On the 5th day, you get to study. You get 1 day off, and we do our programs through online modules. Some programs are done at a university, right? You mentioned the degree programs, or it could be at a college. And after 1 year, you'll get your qualification. So you tell me 1 day a week I can study, and at the end of the year, I'll get my qualification 1 day a week, right? The rest of the time we're working. For a lot of people, that's an attractive setup. 1 day a week of studying, so there's no extra hours. You don't have to come home and study. It's included in the 9 to 5 hours. The time is there for that. And studying 1 day a week. 1 day a week. And that's the situation of an apprenticeship. Level 3s, it can be level 2, and it can go all the way up to degree programs, even master's programs. Any questions on that? This is our company. We are one of many companies in London that do apprenticeship programs. We're just one, and we're a small company. But the ones that we do them very well. Offset outstanding, whatever that means, we give good salaries, all that good stuff. People get distinction, all that good stuff. But we're just one company. This is what we've done. The main thing here is 93 positive progression, meaning, when I was talking to someone before, they mentioned that they would get signed on guaranteed after the apprenticeship. 93% of the time they either get that job offer for full time and increase pay, or they take their qualifications, work experience, references, and they go find themselves another job. And would you be in a better situation to get another job with all of those things? If you do the apprenticeship and you don't like it, and you stick it out and you earn your qualification, you can totally change what industry you want to go into. You're not set in stone. And you're not out of pocket. You're not out of pocket after an apprenticeship. You made money the whole time. And you probably don't even have bills to pay. Even better. Right? So that's one of the main points about it. It teaches you about money. You fill your pockets at the beginning. If I go to Cambridge University right now, and I say, Cambridge University, sign up for your course, economics, they will say, yes, Darren. They will take my money, and they will sign me up in September. Easy as that. That wasn't hard. But for the apprenticeship, it's not guaranteed. How do you get an apprenticeship? You have to apply. You have to apply to sometimes, some people had some good experiences here where they got job offers really quick. That could happen. Some of us may take months to apply to even get our first interview. And then after that, we have to ace that interview when we start getting interviews. So it has to be earned. There's no guaranteed start date. There's no guarantee that you're going to get an interview. And it has to be pursued. It won't come. And the people with highest IQ are those the people that get the apprenticeships and the opportunities. It's a person who will keep on trying and not give up. Because I work with really smart people, they don't look for high IQs. They don't look for high IQs, they don't look, after you pass your GCSEs, yeah, you get your GCSEs, it's your character, it's your personality, it's how you show up, how you walk, how you dress. You don't have to change your whole personality. You just have to be able to do it in an interview, right? So that's the part about getting an apprenticeship that scares a lot of people. Because a lot of people will try, they'll say, yes, I applied for the apprenticeship. Maybe they put out a few applications and it didn't work for maybe 3 months. And now their parents are on their case and they're like, I need to do something, I need to do something. And they give up. That happens a lot. That happens most times. But if someone sticks it out and they say, this is exactly what I want to do, that's the only thing that's going to keep them going, to keep putting in those applications. It's not going to be easy, but it teaches us about the real world. When we get grads all the time. We get graduates who come to us and they're like, I need work experience all the time. All the time. And these are people with 3 or 4 year degrees, right? So the work experience part is, it's up here. And if you can get your foot in that industry, taste what it's like, and you like it that much, maybe in a couple of years you can still get a degree through an apprenticeship or self-study. Those options are still available. Cambridge University will always take your money, don't worry. They'll always take your money, you can always enroll. But to get that professional work experience gets you much further. I came here in May or April, I think. April, met someone, they're like, yes, I want this apprenticeship. They were just like, yes, I've decided this is exactly what I want to do. They seemed on the ball. So over that summer, I helped them apply for apprenticeship programs. Interview, didn't get it. Interview, didn't get it. They had a good attitude though. They kept going for interviews, and by the time at the end of August came, they got an offer and they started in September. 19,000, 20,000 out of the BTEC program into a level 3 business admin program, and they work remotely. And they have to go to the office maybe once a month. And that was their next step. That was there right from the school. Someone got an apprenticeship with us, other people got their apprenticeships with IBM, other companies, and they try it out. And he may not be a corporate person for the rest of his life, but this is a start. He has references, he has all those good things that come with an apprenticeship. So the work experience, that's the main thing that I wanted to touch on this whole presentation. You got your degree ones. Some of us want those degree apprenticeships so bad. Going from this program to try to get a level 6 program, it can be done. People have done it. It's not impossible. It might be a bit harder. It might be a bit harder to jump straight from A levels, BTEC, into that degree program. What works for a lot of people though, is if you go from here, possibly to a level 3 program, get that work experience for 1 year, it's 1 year, and then you apply to a level 6 program, then they know, they're like, oh, you've done an apprenticeship program already. You know what this is like. Oh yeah, you know exactly what it's like. You're gonna be considered. Much easier. That's one way that people can go about it. So don't exclude. A level 3 here, BTEC, is that the same as a level 3 in an apprenticeship program? Is it? Not really, because you're working. You're working on the job. You read the material, you do it the next day. You implement these things right away. So they are a bit different. It could still be a level 3. These are the programs that we do. Remember I said there's many companies that do apprenticeships. Many companies. If you look at the course list of a university, that whole list, there's an equivalent list of apprenticeships that are out there. Everything. I've seen so many opportunities. These are the ones that we do. We do a few of them. We do them really well. We have our business, marketing, IT, publishing. We're the only ones with a publishing apprenticeship. Salesforce, back-end CRM, computer systems. These are for our IT people. Our IT people who are into stuff like that. Coding without the coding, it's not that hard. It's a big industry. So that's for our Salesforce people. And then we have corporate responsibility. Net zero, right? Everywhere's going green. Over the next 10, 20, 30 years, this industry is going to be expanding dramatically. And that one's a level 4. So the level 4 program, that one's a bit longer, more content. But these are the ones that we do, and we do them very well. Very well. Our salaries start at $18,000. And they go up to the 20s. And that can be your first work experience, that can be your first job, your first taste of whatever industry that you want to try. And you have a work coach, one-to-one. It's not a classroom like this, you have one person helping you with your course material. From what I've heard, it's not incredibly hard academically, but you do work full-time, so you do have to manage your time. That's the only thing. Yeah, and so these are the opportunities that we have. And by the way, those of you graduating this year, you might be thinking about apprenticeship in September. Some of the bigger companies are already doing their interviews for starts in September. The BBC, some of those bigger companies, they're already taking applications in February to recruit for September. They're already doing that. I'm working with people and we're already doing interviews. That's not, some companies do it like that. We just do rolling intakes. soon as we get an opportunity, we hire. Opportunity, we hire. And that goes on through the whole year. So there's many different ways you can start looking. You start looking now. You can keep it in mind. You can take action on it whenever you feel like it. You can browse some job boards. And this is what the program looks like. Level 3, 15 months. Someone said they had an 18-month contract. It can vary. And those are the job titles. So the job titles might give you an indicator to what to expect. Digital marketing, social media manager, social media executive, things like that. IT, you could be in a school like this. You could be at a school, IT technician. So that's one of the options that you could do. And then we have Salesforce. These salaries are in US dollars, but there's lots of money to be made if you really want to dive into these. Salesforce careers. And yeah, and that's about it. So that was an overview of apprenticeships, how they work. If you have any questions, we can talk after. I support people into apprenticeship programs all the time, so I can be part of your network if that's something that you're looking forward to. So I hope this was well. If you have any questions, let me know. But that's about it for today. We're free to go. Still see a bird? Yeah, man.
Oh, sweet, I forgot we're on, kind of forgot we're on camera at some point.
That's all right, I
I
know.
forgot we're on camera.
It's pretty quick. It's just a year.
1 year.
1 year.
Would you recommend someone do that after leaving and then go up and then you do a level 3, then a level 4,
Good, that's great.
and then you can split.
Absolutely. Or you can do a free ball.
That's because I'm trying to match up to the years in uni.
Yeah.
I go 3 years uni, and then study my level 3,
Yeah.
and then do my level 5, and then I can do my level 6.
Yeah.
So it'll take an extra year.
It might take an extra year, but some people go level 3 to 6. They jump that.